This is my local gym, and I'm about to go in for a session, and I'm hoping that I'm able to keep up my motivation, because recently I've been going to the gym. I've really not been feeling that motivated to go, and I'm not exactly sure why, but like I would be in there for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, and I just feel like I can't be bothered to do this, and I just want to leave and go off and do languages or whatever else it is that I want to do with my day. And it's not really that good, because like one of my big goals this year is to try and really get myself back into shape. I really want to lose a lot of weight. I feel like there's at least 4 stone that I could lose at the moment, because I don't know, bad lifestyle choices, eating a lot and not exercising as much as I used to, that kind of thing. It just all adds up. And one of my main issues right now is just like image, and like me just being that little bit fatter than I used to be. And the amount I weigh now, I weighed myself this morning, I weigh around about 18 stones, 7 pounds, something like that. And I really want to get myself down to like 15 and a half, 16, and then see where I'm at that current point. Like, in one respect, I'm really motivated to do so. I'm really motivated for the results, but I don't feel it when I'm in the gym. When I'm in the gym, it feels like such a chore, and so because of that, it makes it so much harder for me to actually just go day by day, and it makes it hard for me to wake up and go, I want to go to the gym. And instead I'm just like, what else can I do to postpone this, or to basically not go? And it's not good. I procrastinate a lot with so many things, but it's not good to procrastinate with things like the gym, because you need to keep up like every week basically to go to the gym. Most people, they go in a good habit of going to the gym. They will keep up like 5 days, 6 days a week sort of thing going to the gym. I've been saying to myself, let's go maybe 3 times a week minimum and see how we go from there. I really want to see weight loss in myself, but at the same time, it's a really hard thing to do. I feel like recently I've been trying to eat healthier. I've been eating like less as well where I can, for the most part at least anyway. And whenever I do go to the gym and I work out and it feels like I've done a really good job, and I go back home and I weigh myself maybe the next day or something, and it looks like I've literally lost nothing, and in fact sometimes I even gain weight. It's a bit demotivating when that happens, when you see yourself gaining weight after you've working hard to actually try and lose it. But regardless of my motivation being low, I need to do something in order to actually just push myself to keep on going and to keep it up, because if I don't stay consistent with it, I'm not going to see changes, and probably see the opposite of what I want to see, which is to gain weight as opposed to lose weight. And it's the same with languages as well. If you don't study every single day, you're not going to see improvements. And yeah, it's the same thing with personal health and gym and stuff. It's really important for me. I know the importance of going to the gym and looking after your personal health and stuff. This is just something that I struggle to find time for, and I feel like whenever I go to the gym, I'm sat there, like, I'm on the exercise bike or something, and after like 20 minutes, I'm just like, I could be at home right now learning languages, or I could be making a YouTube video, or I could be doing this, or I could be doing that. And I feel like that's part of my demotivation to be at the gym. And I feel like instead of that, what I need to do is completely forget about everything else in my life at that point, and just focus 100% on exercising more and being fitter and doing my best to, do what I can in the gym at that one moment in time. If I can focus everything in that 1 hour to that, forget about you doing YouTube videos, forget about learning languages, and then when I walk out the gym, I can then go, okay, let's go home, let's make a YouTube video, let's learn a particular language. I feel that would help my motivation a lot more, because I'd be a lot more focused on the task that I'm doing at that moment in time, which is trying to basically work out at the gym, ultimately to lose weight. And yeah, basically just feel better about myself, because obviously when you're fatter and when you need to lose weight, you don't feel all that confident about yourself in general. And so it's one of the reasons why I want to do it as well, because I want to lose weight to just feel better about myself and to feel more confident in general. At the moment, I just feel like I've been slacking a lot for a long time. In order to do something, in order to do anything, and like really achieve your goals, you need to have the motivation, and you need to put your mind towards it. Whether it's going to the gym and losing weight, whether it's learning a language, whether it's learning any other skill in life. When I learned to solve a Rubik's Cube, it was the same sort of thing. I had to have the motivation to actually want to learn it and solve it, and I had to keep persistent with it. I had to keep on solving it every single day to make sure I don't forget certain moves and algorithms and whatever. And yeah, I just eventually learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube, and it's the same thing for languages or losing weight or anything. And I guess I'm making this video because first of all, I need motivation for myself to actually continue going to the gym, trying to keep it up as much as I can, and for me to basically log at this point in time. I weigh so much, and my goals are at some point in the future to get to a certain weight, and if I ever get to that weight, then there'll be something for me to look back on and to see, I guess, the journey. Also, because motivation doesn't just cover things like language learning, obviously it does include language learning. And for me personally, I have a lot of motivation for languages in general, and I have done for a very long time, hence why I spend a lot of time learning languages. But also motivation can cover anything in life, from losing weight at the gym to solving, for example, the Rubik's Cube, like one of these, or even changing one of these into one of these. It covers all sorts of different things in life, and I think anything that you learn or anything that you do ultimately requires some amount of motivation. Some things more than others. For me to lose 4 stone in, I'd not really given myself a time period, but for me to lose 4 stone at some point in the future, that's a lot of weight to lose. Therefore, that's a lot of working out to do. That's a lot of eating healthy that I have to do in order to achieve that goal. In language learning, to jump up from, say, a B1 to a B2, that's also a big goal. And to do that, you need a lot of motivation. And so you can draw parallels between language learning and between losing weight, or between other things in life potentially. Sometimes you just need like a motivational boost, and sometimes just thinking about your goals properly may help. For me, I'm doing smaller goals. So like at the moment, I'm saying, okay, ultimately I want to get to about 15, 16 stone, around that region. But if I can just get myself down to 1 stone less, then that's a good start. And then once I'm at that point, I'm going to try and go for the next stone and the next stone. I'm not just going to full out think I want to lose all 4 in one go. And it's the same thing with languages. You don't want to just pick up a language and go, I want to learn this language to fluency or to a certain level. You want to start off basic and say, okay, after today or after this week, I want to be able to be a bit more confident in understanding the way it's pronounced, or I want to be able to read easier or understand maybe some simple dialogue when I'm listening to it, or just small goals. And if you can achieve these small goals, I think over time they'll build up and you can achieve like those bigger goals, those harder to obtain goals. And again, within language learning, I think it's important to try and just set yourself smaller goals and not to try and push yourself too hard, and try to celebrate these smaller goals and achievements. I think over time, especially after like your first couple months in a language, things start to slow down in terms of progression, and you stop seeing how much you progress. And especially during that period where a lot of people call the plateau in language learning, which is where essentially you're going months or even years at a time without really progressing much, when in actual fact you probably are progressing. You're probably still learning new words and new phrases. You just don't really notice that because you haven't jotted it down, you haven't recorded yourself saying, this is how good I can speak the language today, and in a year's time, you're able to speak it better. And if you don't look at those small achievements, then it's harder to see you sort of pushing yourself out of this plateau. So in language learning, I think it's very important to actually try and do your best to recognize when you make even just small achievements and small goals, and you do something that you're not able to previously do, or you remember something, or you say something you wasn't able to previously do. Whether it was making grammatical mistakes previously, which you now understand better, and so you make them less or probably not at all, or whether it's using certain words that you never knew before, just anything like that at all, obviously is going to all contribute towards you reaching your final goal, which may be fluency or maybe, close to fluency. A lot of people have different goals, but ultimately you want to be able to just look at yourself from, I guess, an outsider's point of view and say, actually, I have improved. Even if it's not been all that much, I've still been able to learn this much of the language, or I now can read a page faster than I could back then. Or maybe it's I can understand a little bit more when I listen to podcasts than I could a month ago, or 2 months ago, 7 months ago, a year ago. So these sort of things are important to recognize and to, I say celebrate, just to, basically reward yourself a little bit, pat on the back, all that kind of thing, and just say, okay, I've made it this far, I am still improving, I'm not in a plateau like I thought it was. And it's the same with, again, going to the gym, losing weight. I think sometimes you can weigh yourself every single day, or maybe even, 4 or 5 times a day, trying to see if you're losing weight, and you you don't really notice that weight being lost. Over time, if you keep on going to the gym, or you're just exercising in general, you're gonna end up losing that weight, especially if you're eating a lot healthier as well. And you may even hear comments from people saying you're looking a lot better, you're looking a lot slimmer. And yeah, you may not realize it yourself, but other people are going to realize it when they don't see you for a month and then they see you again. They're like, oh, you look like you've changed a lot. So yeah, I feel like once I start losing weight at the gym and I notice the scales are getting a little bit less, that's going to be my motivation to essentially continue to do that, because right now, like, I'm just in this plateau where I can't seem to lose weight, but it's because I keep eating a lot of like carbohydrates and other kind of foods that, you know, are quite fattening. And so I think if I just eat healthier and continue trying to exercise, and maybe even push myself a bit more to exercise more in the gym as well as, you know, doing weights and that kind of thing, I'm going to eventually start seeing weight loss. And when I do, that's going to motivate me even more just to continue going and going until I get back into a proper routine of going to the gym and it's a part of my weekly schedule. Hopefully 3 times a week minimum, but if I could do it more, then obviously that'd be great. Hope this video in some way was able to help you, inspire you, whether it's with languages, whether it's with, you know, personal health or any other thing that maybe you need a bit more motivation for. Ultimately, if you want to succeed in something, regardless of what that thing is, you're going to need a lot of motivation in order to achieve that thing, especially if you're looking at quite a big thing that you want to learn, quite a big thing that you're wanting to change in your life. For example, for me to lose that much weight, I need a lot of motivation. For someone to learn a language, you're going to need a lot of motivation to do that. For someone to sit down and learn a skill on solving a puzzle, it's going to take a lot of motivation to do that, and persistence, and it's going to take probably many failed attempts to then get to that final result. And ultimately, motivation is the main thing, and that's everything that I wanted to talk about, I believe, in this particular video. If you'd like to see more from me in regards to language learning, please click one of the 2 videos in the end screen coming up. With all that out of the way, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching this video. Yoi ichi nichi wo sugoshite kudasai. Ja ne.